So we're now on the back of your notes paper, and we're going to do some practice using the rules we just learned, the rules that are on our flashcards. Okay, so all I'm going to do, I want to take this triangle and rotate it the given amount of degrees. So we have 3 different triangles, and we're going to rotate this one 90, 180, and 270. So what I'm going to do is use the rules. Okay? So I was given the coordinates, so I can just simply map out the coordinates using our rules and then graph them on the graph. Okay? So first we're rotating 90 degrees around the origin. So if you look at your flashcards or the previous page, we know that if we're given xy, it's now going to become negative y x. Okay. So I'm simply just going to look at my coordinates, apply the rule, and then graph them. So for A, let's do it in red. I'm going to label my point on my triangle. -7, -2, this is A. Well, I'll just go ahead and label them all. B is at -2, -1, and C is at -1, 8. So these are all the pre-image. So when I'm doing A, I started at -7, -2, and this is my rule, that's my notation. So I'm just going to do it over here. A prime is now, we're switching the values, so it's going to be -2, -7, but then we also need to change the sign of y. So it's going to become +2, -7. Then we'll do the same rule for B. B prime, we switch the values, so it's going to be -1, -2, but then we have to change the sign for y. So it's now +1, -2. And then C prime, switch the values, -8, -1, change the sign for y. And then all I have to do is graph these points. Okay, so A is at +2, -7. A prime. B prime is at 1, -2. And C prime is at 8, -1. And now we've graphed all these points and we simply connect the dots. Now what I was talking about earlier with the merry-go-round and how they're the same distance away, when we have a graph we can do sort of a visual check to see if our points are actually the same distance away, because we took this and we rotated it around. So are B and B the same distance away? Yeah. C and C? Yeah. A and A? Yeah. If I have A like really close to my origin now where it started further away, I know something went wrong, so I can just go back and check. Okay? So now we're going to do the same thing for these other 2 problems, just using the different rules. So if I have a rotation 180 degrees, counterclockwise, because even though they don't say it, we just assume counterclockwise in mathematics and graphing. So x, y, if we look at our rule, turns into -x, -y. So I'm just going to apply this rule to A, B, and C. First I'm going to label my triangle, -7, 8. I want A's to be red. -7, 8. B is -1, 6. And C is -4, 0. So now I'm going to apply the rules and graph it. A prime, they stay in the same place, they just switch the sign. So it was -7, now it was -7, now it's positive, and it was a +8, now it's negative. B prime, it was -1, 6, and now I change the signs, and it's +1, -6, and got the prime. And C prime was -4, 0, so it's just +4, 0, because 0 can't be negative or positive. And then we graph. +7, -8 is A prime. +1, -6 is B prime. +4, 0 is C prime. and connect the dots. Again, I'm going to do just a visual check. C and C, same distance away. Good. B and B, same distance away. A and A prime, same distance away. We're good to go. Now let's do this last one. Our rule for rotating 270 degrees. We start with x, y. And our notation now becomes y, negative x. So I'm gonna label my triangle. A is 5, 7. Oops. B is 8, 1. And C is 1, 3. I apply my rule and then graph. So A started as 5, 7. So A prime, we're going to switch the values, 7, 5, and change the sign of x. B, change the sign of our second value. B prime was 8, 1, now it's 1, negative 8. C prime, it was 1, 3, now it is 3, negative 1, and we graph. So the hardest part about this is not applying the rules, but just remembering the rules. That's why we created those flashcards. So 7, negative 5. Sorry, this takes some concentration. B1, negative 8. B prime. And C prime is 3, negative 1. Connect the dots. We can do our visual check. Are they the same distance away? They sure are. And then we'll finish our notes up on the next video.